This episode of the Kind of Funny Gamescast is brought to you by Casper. Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the cost, directly to the consumer. Casper combines two technologies. We're talking about the springy latex foam and supportive memory foam to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce. Let me tell you what, Kevin. Recently, Curran, my best friend, he needed a mattress. And I said, you should go to Casper.com and use the code Kind of Funny. You can get one. He did that. It was easy to order. Next thing you know, he's sleeping well. He's having good night sleeps. You could do that too. Get a Casper mattress for $500 for a twin or $950 for a king-size mattress. Comparing this industry averages, that's an outstanding price point. And you can save $50 towards a mattress purchase when you go to Casper.com/Gamecast and entering promo code GAMECAST. So there's no S in there, just GameCast. Terms and conditions apply. Free shipping and returns to US and Canada. I want to hear all about the fun that you're having on your new Casper mattress. Anyways, that's Casper.com/Gamecast using promo code GAMECAST. So, second topic of the day. Greg, let me take you back.
Oh my God.
Time travel.
It's another Greg Miller topic?
All right. It was March 30th. Me and you were down in L.A. at the Shrine Theater.
They told us.
We stood on stage and we told the people that Final Fantasy 15 was going to come out on September 30th.
And during it, they're like,
2016.
This is the date. No more delays. Mm-hmm. And we said, I believe you, Tabata.
And then what did Colin say? This game's not coming out on September 30th.
I want to find a clip of you saying that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because I don't think you ever actually
made a joke
said
beforehand. The power of lies.
Still say it comes out 2021.
Someone,
that was my original prediction.
Please try to find
it.
that.
Go ahead, find it.
Anyways.
Tom Hawkins.
Find it, Tom.
We're liars. We didn't know it until...
I liked how somebody who tweeted it, he's like, how does it feel that Square Enix made you a bunch of liars? Like, fine, I don't know. I don't care.
I mean, it sucks. You know, I don't give a shit about the lying part, but it sucks because I want to play the damn game.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's like, all right, shit happens. I can't believe it happened, to be real.
I can't either. Like, wow.
Like, the fact that they made that event and had the date.
They were so fucking confident that was going to be the date. They were so into it.
They were so confident that it was the date. And I keep saying this, but it's the first time I said it on content. The time when they announced the date, there was like the roulette thing that kind of went through and it ended on September 30th. But before it did that, it ended on November 30th. And everyone's like, and then it went down to September. And everyone's like, Now it's November 29th.
Tabata didn't expect that to happen. He thought November 30th was going to be the...
He looked at it, he's like, oh, fuck.
So I'm going to
Tim.
read some things. And then we can talk about some facts. Right here. Speaking to IGN at Gamescom, Final Fantasy 15 director Hajime Tabata explained that a hefty day one patch was originally in store for the game, but ultimately he didn't want fans who play offline to be unable to experience the game at its best. Instead, he wanted the game to be in its most polished state as soon as players put in the disc. Quote, originally, I was thinking it would be okay and we could put all the extra updates into a day one patch, Tabata told IGN. But at that point, I learned there are maybe a lot of people out there who play in an offline environment and don't have internet. When I found that out, thinking about it again, I'm glad I didn't make that decision. It would take about 1 month exactly to fit everything we wanted in the day one patch into the disc version. And with that, pretty much all the technical issues would be sorted out. And then we thought that after we got that technical base down, there were no problems there. It's 1 more month to polish everything up and get it really great. And that's why it was 2 months.
I can't wait for that day one patch to come out whenever they release the game and watch him fucking have to eat those words because of this 3 gigabyte day one patch all the same.
Mm-hmm. As for what specifically the team is working on, Tabata said the game is basically complete, but needs extra polish due to the sheer amount of content included. The main thing there is working on fixing the bugs which affect the visuals of the game, polishing that up, and doing the final optimization push. The other thing, I think we can get much closer to that perfect game balance in the final balancing period as well, to make it a game that's really fun and easy and comfortable to play for any kind of player. If you keep putting more volume and more content into the game, with that comes a load of extra debugging and polishing and optimization periods. So we're really concentrating on getting the volume and content we have at the moment, getting that really solid and really perfect for the final game. So that's where we're at.
All right, wait a minute. The man says 6 or 7 weeks before the game's supposed to come out. The game's basically complete, and they're still balancing it. 7 weeks before the game comes out, that's what you're doing. The game's supposed to be finished at that point, pretty much just done. You might be able to tweak things and get a day one patch going, but the way they talk about this game has me so incredibly skeptical. And It's getting a little. It's getting ridiculous.
It's
like,
one of those
it's
where
actually getting like totally absurd now.
Colin, you have this JRPG expertise.
I have Final Fantasy disease, according to Tabata. Go ahead.
And you know so much about it. You always keep saying that when you talk about this game, it'll be no less than good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to think it's going to struggle to be good.
It's possible. I still stand by that it's going to be probably good. I just think that it's going to be super underwhelming. I can't get over how. I don't even know where to begin with everything I've seen with this game. Now people have pointed out, and it's true that it's previewing well at Gamescom. You better fucking hope so, considering the way it was shown at E3. You better fucking hope they have their shit together to be able to get a demo going for Gamescom to get people excited about this.
That was at Xbox, right, where they came out. And
yeah. Oh my god, it was one of the worst things.
It was a really, really bad.
That was one of the worst things I'd ever seen at an E3 conference.
That is absolutely not true.
For
it
a
was
demo,
bad.
for a game, I can't even think of a gameplay demo with the exception of anything that has like maybe with the Wii when
music?
they did Sky. Wii music's up there.
And Skyward Sword didn't work.
That's not a demo.
The giant enemy crab thing. There's a lot, Colin.
Playable demos. The giant enemy crab thing was that was just weird. The Wii music thing and the Skyward Sword thing were both bad. And the only other thing that I can think about is stuff with PlayStation Move and PlayStation VR where things don't work, like Wonderbook, for instance.
Yeah.
But that's like in that echelon. That was an awful fucking demo. I've been to 10 E3s and I've seen way more than that. And that one, I will always remember that demo because I was like, what the fuck is like? How can you possibly think that this was an acceptable thing to show? What's wrong with you guys? Like to me, like I would be so mad at that team at this point if I was like in the executive ranks at there. I'd be like, you guys seem incompetent, to be perfectly honest with you. You know, like how long is this saga gonna have to go on until people get their goddamn game? You know, like how is a decade not long enough to deliver the game? I was a junior in college when it was announced. I am 31. You know, like release the goddamn game already. It's becoming like a joke, and people will find it because I did joke around after I did joke around after that wasn't going to come out. Like I remember saying it, and that's why when I saw the date, I'm like, well, I'm surprised you didn't just delay it 6 months because clearly it needs like all this like. But at the same time, you have to shit or get off the pot. They don't want to lose holiday sales and all that kind of stuff. That said, like the sad thing is that a Final Fantasy game should be better than good. It's a Final Fantasy game, and yeah, maybe I do have Final Fantasy Ds because I expect something good, and we haven't gotten a fucking great Final Fantasy game in years and years. The last time we got a great Final Fantasy game, I was a kid when we got a truly, in my mind, a truly great. The last time, in my opinion, and I know people disagree that we had a fantastic Final Fantasy game was Final Fantasy 9. You know, and that's a long time ago. I was in high school. And yeah, some people, a lot of people like 10, some people like 12 for some reason, and then 13.
Like people like 12. A lot of people really like 12.
12, the tale of two games. So to me, it's a situation. This is becoming probably embarrassing for them, and they better hope this game's fucking awesome. Because if it's anything less than that, people are just gonna eat this game alive. And I'm gonna play it. I'm curious about it. I think the mechanics look interesting. I think the world looks interesting. That those characters look awful. I was watching like video and reading about it. I'm like, man, I don't know what they're thinking about with like these characters. But nonetheless, the hunt system looks cool and all that. Like, so I'm gonna get into it and try it out. I just feel like that excuse seems to be a cop-out excuse. Total nonsense. I can't imagine that many PS4s and Xbox Ones are not connected to the internet. In some respect.
Well, I mean, that excuse doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense
the
at all.
day one patch is going to be huge for this fucking game.
And they're going to have a day one patch anyway. That's going to be just iterative and different than the day one patch that they're going to have. It's just like the game obviously isn't up to snuff, and it plays out these rumors you've been hearing about this game, anecdotal and secondary and tertiary as they are, because I haven't heard them directly. I'm just reading about them. That the game is like kind of fucked up, and I don't know if it's true or not. But when you see things like this. Because to your point, when you guys, it's not even that you guys hosted it. Like, it doesn't matter. Like when they went to the Shrine and Auditorium and announced that date, that was the drop dead date. They probably obsessed over that date. They probably got all their ducks in a row 8,000 different ways to make sure that they're gonna hit that date, and they still missed it. That tells you everything you need to know about this game's production and the way this game's being run. And the bigger thing is you better have major fucking concerns about Kingdom Hearts 3, and you better have major fucking concerns about Final Fantasy 7 Remake, because the same producer and director and executive and executive teams are overseeing all these games, even though CyberConnect is making Final Fantasy 7. Like, how anyone can have any faith in their Japanese output at this point at the AAA level, as I talked about, I think on PS I Love You or on Colin and Greg at some point, is beyond me. It's And like I said, props to Square Enix for investing wisely a decade or so ago in a lot of Western studios, because that's the shit that actually matters to them now. You know, this other stuff, you know, dicking around with Dragon Quest X and doing all this kind of like, you know, and Final Fantasy 15 and the saga Final Fantasy 15. As a Final Fantasy fan and as a Dragon Quest fan, it makes me sad. Like Squaresoft back in the day was like they were like hero status to me. I loved them, and I'm kind of disappointed in the way this is being handled.
Well, sure,
it's just ridiculous.
It's the latest thing you're always talking about, right? In the not fall, but like what Square Enix is now, based on what they were before, especially the Japanese branch of it. I don't have that affinity, but you do in terms of I thought they were.
I wouldn't
and how
even
they
be
went.
here without Squaresoft. You know, like. Not even a prayer of me being here without Squaresoft and the games and the influence that they had on me. The thing is that I know a lot of people care about this game, and I want it to authentically be good. Like I said before, like I don't really get off on shitting on games or hoping games are bad, because I hope all games are good. I just have to call it like I see it. This game is tortured. Whether or not it turns out good or bad, I don't know. I think it's going to turn out fine. But I don't think fine is going to be good enough.
I'm worried, and I'm only worried because I want it to be so good. It's like I really, it's not just like I want all games to be good. I want this game to be good. I want this game to be awesome. It's not just like that I remember when this game was announced. I remember being so excited when this game was announced. This game meant so much to me. I bought a PS3 for this game, you know? And that's the thing where it's like, I'm okay with it. Like I was so excited about this game for so long that I'm like, I don't care. Like it didn't happen, and there's all this stuff. As far as I'm concerned, this game hasn't been in development for a decade. It's been in development for the last couple years. What this game is not the game that we saw back then at all. The game we saw back then was in the 13 world, and they totally gave up on that, went a totally different direction, and then created a whole other 13 world, and that's a whole other thing. But with this, the boy band car road trip thing, I'm super sold on that. I love that type of shit. So I'm like, all right, cool. Just give me an interesting battle system. Give me something that is fun. And that's the thing that I'm a little bit worried about, because the demos I've played so far, I don't know how to say it, but the
Dream Sequence.
No, the one before that. That was the Platinum demo.
Deuce K or whatever.
The Deuce K, whatever. It was good. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It surprised me how much I liked it, because I was way worried about that. But the battle system, it felt like it needed a little bit of work. We've seen them do a lot of work. Then they put out the Platinum demo, and honestly, I didn't like that. Like I thought it was way too slow, way too effortless, like where you're just doing things and there wasn't a lot of thought put into it, which is the opposite of what I enjoy about Final Fantasy games. I love the battle systems to keep me on my toes and not just have me constantly doing the same thing over and over. I want to have to switch between things. I get early on in the game, RPGs, you're going to just keep hitting attack, and that's all that matters. But I want more from that. And I feel like I remember playing a demo of Final Fantasy VII. I remember playing the demo of Final Fantasy X-2. I remember all that stuff, and even then there was still challenge in the demo. Yeah. Playing the demo of this, there wasn't any challenge.
I remember the Final Fantasy X demo being challenging. They
put you pretty far, not far into the game, but maybe almost not a third, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that well, because I remember dying, which I thought was weird.
And that's cool though.
Yeah,
there's no way you could have died in the Platinum demo.
And here's the other thing about it, and I don't want to pick on these guys. I mean, I'm sure that they're trying. And it's not a personal thing. It's just stop. Like, what's with the fucking demos anyway? Just go away. You know, like I don't like, just finish the goddamn game. Like I just don't understand. You don't have the luxury of releasing these demos when people have been waiting for these games for that long and tweaking things. Just, you know what? You got to go with your gut and finish the goddamn game already.
Yeah.
And I like the scary thing, Tim. The scary thing is I don't even believe this next release date. That's the scariest thing of all. I'm like, I don't know. I just don't even believe them. I believe it when it's in my goddamn console.
I would have sworn on the September 30th date. You know, it's just like, again, they made such a big deal out of it.
They were so confident. I mean, behind closed doors with us, talking about it.
So excited.
This is the date. Ha ha ha.
And that's the thing, is it sucks, like personally having met these people and knowing these people. It's just like, you know, they believe in this. And I know that there's nobody that's more upset about this than them. We understand this. We make content. We don't get things done by the time we say. It's so upsetting to us. And I understand that. And we feel like I fucking hate you. I feel that, but see, that's a perfect example. All these people say all these other things. The person himself, now here he's saying it, but there's the problem of translation and all this other stuff. At least for me, there's not translation issues. You know,
we say hell a lot, and I got to try to tell people what that means.
No, people know what that means, Greg. And if they don't, fuck them.
Whoa!
Yeah. So Final Fantasy 15, I my biggest concern with it right now is that it is being pulled in two completely different directions. I am only seeing two opinions on it. The people that are like, it's been tortured, it's been delayed so many times, it's been this, and this, like there's no chance it'll be good, whatever. It's like, all right, cool, you've already made your decision. And then there's the people that are like, it looks awesome. This game is awesome. I'm going to love this game. I've loved everything. And I'm like, did you play the Platinum demo? Are you really saying that right now? Because I don't trust you anymore if you say that. And then it's like, so then there's somewhere in the middle where I'm like, all right, but what about me? Am I going to like this? You know, I do want to like it. I am going to give it the benefit of the doubt. And to be completely real, there's so much shit that for me, they are nailing. The soundtrack, the visual look of it. I do like the characters. I do like the story that we've seen beyond just the basic thing of, oh, it's guys in a car. It's like hearing about the story of with the Kings and the stuff, and a lot of the stuff that we got, as I prep for when we were presenting and stuff. I'm like, this is interesting. This is cool. This is Final Fantasy.
No, that was the whole thing. I mean, I've talked about it, right? Like, I'm not a Final Fantasy guy, and that's why they wanted me and you for that thing, because we're the spectrum. And like when you sit there and talk about the story, like, yeah, I mean, they all look like a J-pop band, but I like the idea of they're on this road trip and he's out for this girl and this is what's happening. When I see the trailer and there's like cloud gods and a baby, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening, but like that part sounds cool, and a road trip sounds cool, and that's something I can connect with and wrap my head around. Yeah, I hope the battle system's fun. I like the visual style of it, but as this continues to go on, you're just like left to go, well, what the fuck's happening?
And reading through thread upon thread upon thread on NeoGAF and GameFAQs and all this stuff about the Gamescom demo that people got to play, it confuses me because there was conflicting reports. There's so many people that are like, oh, did you see that whole thing about the screenshots that were leaked that looked like a PS2 game and they were horrible? And there was a whole thing of like, is that real? Are people trying to make this game look bad? Meanwhile, there's other threads that are like nothing but praise and being like, surprisingly, it's really good.
I've heard a lot of praise for the game coming out of Gamescom, and I trust that. That's what I keep saying is like, no matter how hard I'm hard, not necessarily on the game itself. I'm hard on this cycle, this inexcusable cycle for this game. Yeah, the game is different, but the project's the same, right? Like, I don't even understand how this turned into Final Fantasy 15 or what they were even thinking with this anyway. Like, they should, if they just canceled it and didn't say anything, and then just were like, we're gonna, fuck around and bring this over. No one would even have anything to say at this point, because it wouldn't be nearly as funny that it's taken this long, and nearly as sad, frankly. Like, they got to shit or get off the pot with this game. Yeah. And the thing that bothered me the most is not necessarily the delay, because listen, a delay, I can't think of a single game that was bad because it worse off from being delayed. I can't think of one. Like a delaying a game is typically good for the game. Maybe not for us as consumers or for us as enthusiasts and excited people, but that excuse is bullshit. And like, I've never heard of an excuse like that in 2016 of saying like the console, you all connect to the internet, and download patches for every one of your games. We're concerned that some of you, what is it, like a microscopic amount of people, like a minute amount of people that don't connect the PS4 or the Xbox One to the internet, you're worried about them? Really? It's such a bad excuse. Yeah. Just say you need more time. Like, just that was the thing that got me the most. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're worried about the patch not being able to be downloaded?
And again, like, this sucks because like it really just sounds like I'm defending him just to defend him. But with this, it's like the only reason this exists is because Andrew Goldfarb, or whoever, it says IGN, I'm assuming it's Andrew Goldfarb, like pressured him into it. It was just like, so why is it delayed? Then he gave an answer, and now here it is on record, Whereas maybe it is all those things, This is just what he said, and that's how that works, and that is his fault. He shouldn't have said this, But
yeah, and it's up to the PR to spin a better narrative,
to spin that shit.
And I think that not that that's what we want as on our side, but that's their job. And first of all, I wouldn't have let him take any interviews at all after that delay announcement. I think that's a huge mistake. And because people are obviously going to have aggressive questioning, a line of questioning for, I would too. Your readers or your viewers or your fans want answers, and you're going to find them. But this just raises questions about the entire project in terms of the way it's been managed the entire time. And I might have Final Fantasy disease, as he could put it, because I have fucking expectations. And I really, for the sake of, Final Fantasy fans everywhere, fans like you that are really super excited about this game, and for people like me that just want to play good games, I hope I am blown away. I hope this game is game of the year. I really do. And everyone can tell me I was wrong and everyone else was wrong about the game. I hope it's great. I hope it's phenomenal. But I don't know how you can possibly think that that's going to be the case either. Yeah. But I do not think the game's going to be any worse than good.
See, I think that's the more likely scenario, is that people are going to tell you you're wrong because it's not going to be good.
That's gonna be sad. That's gonna be an unfortunate culmination of a project that.
The saddest thing
folks
for
have been
me is
waiting
that
for.
I'm never going to get to play Final Fantasy Versus 13. And like that sucks because that is what I want so badly. Like I can even see in my head now, not even just the first trailer, the second trailer, the third trailer, the ones they showed at TGS, like that Stella character, the girl that they had. Like, it's like I wanted their story. Now she's not even in it. Now it's someone that kind of looks like her, and it's like it is weird where they had all of this stuff, and then they're like, all right, we're gonna take kind of bits and pieces and change things. And I get it. I haven't played it yet. So what am I? I'm judging all this based on trailers. I am judging it based on trailers they showed me, so it's like, yeah, it's been a long decade, right?
It's just an incredible saga that's about, even if it's not in September, obviously it's going to be in November, or maybe not. It is going to come to an end. So we'll see. And I hope I put it in my PS4 and it's fantastic and more than worth the wait. But I'm not
like it.
hopeful.
That's all that I want. I don't give a fuck if it's perfect. I just want to like it. Please.